Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report. Episode 427, titled Devils' Recent Injuries May Be a Blessing in Disguise. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey with no technical difficulties, knock on wood. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. As we're talking a little bit of Devils hockey, just remember, sign up for the latest updates on our live events, especially February 17th, the outdoor tailgate, our fan appreciation tailgate is what we're going to probably call it. On February 17th, before the Devils take on the Philadelphia Flyers at MetLife Stadium, joinourcrew.com. Please sign up, joinourcrew.com, and we'll give you the latest updates as we speak. Some of the pieces are coming together for the big tailgate. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark, and Crew Brew being served. 21 or older, please. And drink responsibly. But yes, as I see people are filing into the YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Michael Hay in the Facebook Live, and also David Decker. Yes, that David Decker of Town Toyota, Route 46 in beautiful Ledgewood, New Jersey. Buy a Toyota from the red guy, the big red guy, David Decker. Tell him Sam Wu sent you. Toyotas. Alrighty, so New Jersey Devils won last night. We were able to pull off the Devils After Dark after the game. It almost didn't happen because look, I went to Billy Dean's birthday party, and Billy Dean is a good friend of the podcast, even though he's a New York Rangers fan. Hockey on Tap, Billy Dean. And, where it was located in Morristown, New Jersey, couldn't really get cell service. And I thought, okay, let's hook up to the Wi-Fi at the venue, and it's James Dolan Internet. Combine the two together, not going to happen. Moved to my car. This wasn't working and wasn't able to make it work, so I wasn't part of the podcast. To the end there, coming in through the clutch, I know it didn't sound like I normally sounds for a football call, but we got it done. We managed to get it done last night. We gutted out. We kept trying. Scotty was about to say, look, let's bag it. Let's do it noontime, Eastern, tomorrow. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. They want the football calls. And we made it work. Scotty was late for his Batman 35-year anniversary, whatever he was going to. But we made it work. And that's what I'm going to segue into now, the New Jersey Devils. With the most recent injuries. 1/3 of the salary cap earmarked for players that are currently injured, like Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, Andre Palat, Nosek, amongst others. There have been injuries throughout the season. A talented team on paper before the season started. A Devils team that was undefeated in preseason, smoking teams off the ice during preseason. We talked about the depth during preseason, how it's important because injuries do happen. Injuries matter to teams. And guess what happened? It happened. The face of the league, the star player of the New Jersey Devils, one of the two Hughes brothers on the team, Jack Hughes, hurt. Timo Meier, probably the closest to come back, also hurt. Dougie Hamilton, out for the season or maybe later rounds in the playoffs. Jonas Siegenthaler, out with a broken leg, broken foot, whatever it is. Nosek, brought in for beefalytics, non-existent because of injury. And it's these injuries maybe a blessing in disguise. Now, I don't like people getting hurt. But it has done, it has forced the Devils to actually play great team defense. Learning how to play like a team, because the star players, the talent is now not on paper right now with the current roster. You've got to learn how to play like a team. That's how Stanley Cups are won. The Devils are forced to play team defense, team offense, puck possession. And this is what we found in the last 2 games in Florida. Against Tampa, look, it could have went either way. It really could have went the Devils' way had they called that a goal, the Mikey McLeod shot in the crease. But it didn't. The margin for error has shrunk with this team. They certainly can't rely on the officiating. They can't certainly rely solely on talent. They've got to play like a team. And they did last night. Even having a 3-0 lead against the Florida Panthers, a team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. And look at how they're playing. Dawson Mercer, in the beginning of the season, was having, well, they say the proverbial sophomore slump. He was having a junior year slump. Last year of his entry-level contract, not even scoring a point in the first 10 games, has suddenly become a force on offense with the forwards. Let the Beefalytics take over. And you're seeing right now that the Devils as a whole have simplified their game and are going hard to the net. Let me repeat that. Hard to the net. Putting the puck on net and going hard to the net. They were able to get 3 goals past Vasilevsky in Tampa, elite goaltender, and able to put 3 against goalie Bob in Florida, the empty net goal from John Marino. The tush-push call is what we say here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Doesn't really count. 4-1 victory. Kevin Ball's playing a lot better. Has improved. And, you know, I call out players when they don't play well. He's playing a lot better. And we're seeing it in the win column. 3 out of 4 points in Florida. They play the big bat Boston Bruins tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon game, Max of the YouTube Live will be up there. We're going to see if we can get Max to pull off the same stunt he did last season and get live video inside the arena. Maybe he could yell touchdown John Marino while the Devils are coming out onto the ice. But, yeah, the injuries have forced the team to play better team concept. Thank you, Mark Schwab, for the super chat. Do not trade for a goaltender or a defenseman. Just saying greetings from Switzerland. Okay, Mark Schwab, I was about to go there. And let's transition in this. Trust the process, Devils fans. Trust the process. I've argued this with Nick Villano of pucksandpitchforks.com. Nick Villano is a maniac writer. He writes a lot. He analyzes a lot. Anybody that knows Nick Volano behind the scenes knows that he knows his stuff. Okay? Although I don't agree with him, we agree to disagree. Sometimes it gets heated. But that's a good thing because you get different points of view here on the Let's Go Devils podcast, State of the Fan Address, every Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, pucksandpitchforce.com. If you haven't gone there already, go there. He wants a goalie. Sam, I'm begging you, I want a goalie. But I say Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash, Nick. You got to go through the process. You got to evaluate what you have. And what we have right now is a struggling Vitek Vanacek and a Nico Dawes, baby. Feeling so good after surgery. I don't think he's just saying that. He's looking good side to side, positioning-wise. A young goaltender. You've got Akira Schmid, who is trying to find his game in Utica right now. 3 goaltenders. The evaluation. The goaltending market, let's just put it this way. You talk about inflation, the economics, it is inflated right now. Okay? In the salary cap era, you've got to be careful what you spend. And I agree with Mark. Do not trade for a goaltender or defenseman yet because you're going to pay a premium. Teams know your roster's injured. They're going to ask for a lot. It's not like you can flip a 7th-round pick for a top 4 defenseman. Trust me. They're going to ask a lot more. Seamus Casey should be off the table. It shouldn't even be a discussion unless you get a Connor McDavid esque player in return. Okay? Let's just stop it with the Seamus Casey's rumors because other teams, they're probably dropping in the media to kind of get the Devils thinking, and it's not going to work. You're not going to take a Jersey-born kid that's ripping it up in University of Michigan in the NCAA, the next one in the pipeline after Hughes and Nemitz. This is a generational defense a dynasty of a defense that Tom Fitzgerald is putting together for the future. Short term, it's going to hurt. It's going to burn. But like I said, short term, the Devils are learning how to play great team defense. They're not there yet by no means, but man, last night looked good. The effort against Tampa looked pretty good. You may not like the results. You may not like the 3 goals going in or 4 because of overtime in Tampa. But man, was the effort there. It passed the eye test for me. Keep going, Tommy Fitzgerald. Keep evaluating. And with the goalie situation, I put out a tweet out there, and I should explain myself. That caused quite a stir, which I still don't know why it would cause a stir, because it was a positive tweet about Vitek Vanacek. Okay, sorry, I may got carried away with calling him Vitek Vezina Vanacek. I was going for the V's. But the hot takes, Devils should keep playing Vitek Vezina Vanacek. He'll figure it out and turn it around in time for the playoffs. Keep it positive, Devils fans. That's all I wrote. And it caused a stir because everybody wants a goaltender. But this is not fantasy hockey. This is the National Hockey League. You got to go through the process. Some would say, and legitimately, they make a great point, but woo, you can't waste these contracts. These entry-level contracts, he's like, when they're cheap because they're going to be expensive. Oh! You know, I have to say that. Show me a Stanley Cup champion that gambled their future away because they wanted to take advantage of their valued young contracts on the books. The way the Stanley Cup is played, or the way the Stanley Cup is won as of recently, is, I hate to say it, cooking the books. Vegas Golden Knights, Tampa Bay Lightning. Hey, star players make billions of dollars. Ha, they're injured. You'll come back game one, round one. Hold my beer. I'm going to go on a spending spree and circumvent the system. That's how it's been. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Vegas Golden Knights, that's what they did. Okay? You go to 2019, the St. Louis Blues, the unlikely Stanley Cup champion, who was riding Jordan Binnington, a last-place team in December or January of 2019. 2018 in December and 2019 in January. Riding a goaltender. Called up the HL. He's been bounced around. Is he elite? Is he a Hellebuck? Is he a Shesterkin? Is he a Sorokin? Is he a John Gibson? No! He's like a Vanacek. He's kind of like a Schmid. He's kind of like a Dawes. And Binnington takes the St. Louis Blues, although there was a goalie change, a coaching change in Craig Berube, who brought that beefalytics mindset to the team, and they won. And don't forget, being in Philadelphia, listening to Gloria, Gloria, oh, Gloria, winning the Stanley Cup in 2019. And by the way, who was the goalie development coach in the St. Louis system at that time period with Jordan Binnington going to the Stanley Cup Finals? I don't think it's a coincidence because Marty Brodeur knows. He's on the New Jersey Devils, Dave Rogalski, the goalie coach, who all about the jersey is talking about firing the guy. I say nonsense. Trust the process. You don't need to give up the farm for a goalie right now. It's not happening. Okay? I'm making a case right now. Show me a team that is going to put all their chips in mortgage the future and send Seamus Casey amongst others, Alexander Holtz amongst others, just to take advantage of low contracts in the play to win this. No. A Stanley Cup winning team is built with teamwork, team chemistry, team creativity, and trust. Anybody that's played hockey knows what I'm talking about. The locker room. How close you need a tight-knit locker room to win a Stanley Cup. You really can't buy Stanley Cups. The only way you can really buy a Stanley Cup in the salary cap era is how I kind of mentioned about circumventing the CBA with injured players and then bringing them miraculously back for round one, game one in the quarterfinals. So let's stop this nonsense. Evaluate. Step one is evaluate what you got. What we got here, like I said, Kira Schmid trying to find his game. Nico Dawes looking promising. And Vitek Vanacek, who statistically has been an analytic nightmare for those that follow analytics. I think there are a couple things in Vitek Vanacek's game that he needs to work on. A couple of it is more mechanics, which would be another podcast for another day. But I don't think he's that far off. And you know what? By gosh, he's healthy. He's playing. And that's what you can all hope for. There are a lot of things that are beyond your control, but just having a goaltender there right now, Vitek Vanacek, mark my words, will find his game sooner rather than later, and good competition will help expedite that because Nico Dawes is looking pretty darn good. And I'm seeing a lot of the comments. Supernova says, LOL, Vitek has to work on goaltending? Yeah, of course. He'll get there. He's not that far off. I've been talking to a couple goaltending specialists. He's not that far off. Ted says, Sam has a point about the salary cap era. I guess it's not like baseball where Wayne Huizenga won the World Series for the Marlins. Yeah, everybody's on an even playing field with the salary cap, okay? The Devils fans suffered long enough for 10 years of rebuilding. You've got a pipeline right now. Don't close off the spigot. Don't be stupid and give up that pipeline. That pipeline is your biggest asset right now because that's when you're talking about contracts and bigger contracts, any player that wants to get too greedy, well, if you have a pipeline, you've got all the leverage and say, okay, you know what? We'll ship you out. We'll either get something now in return or we will keep replenishing the pipeline with high draft picks. But why would you trade Seamus Casey right now? It's not like it's a Cutter Gauthier issue. Okay? It's like that's a different issue why you would trade it. Seamus Casey's value in 4 years from now is going to be much greater than what it is right now. Like, of course, reporters are going to entertain that, and it's within their right. But let's be logical here. Tom Fitzgerald is not that stupid enough to buy. He knows what Seamus Casey brings to the table. And he better get something good for him. And if it's not something good, no, let's say something great for him, he shouldn't do it because he knows 4 years from now his value, Seamus Casey, will be that much more. Exponentially that much more. When he can show what he can do in the NHL. All you're seeing about Seamus Casey is potential. What about that potential is reality? And he starts playing like Cale Makar in year 3 in his NHL career. By the way, you don't trade a Jersey kid just like that. Because the Devils are about marketing. I mean, you just do not do that. Morgan Williams says Casey is a small offensive defenseman. He'll never sniff power play. Hughes, Hamilton, and Nemitz. Let's put it this way. Depth is everything because, look, Hamilton's out. If there's an injury to Hughes and Nemitz, wouldn't you want Casey in there 3 or 4 years from now? And also, I'm not worried about size because today's NHL, it's a lot of his speed and skill. Yes, and this is coming from somebody that talks about beefalytics, but it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the heart of the dog in the fight. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not worried about Seamus Casey's size. That's irrelevant. Okay? Because there are smaller players that are awesome in the NHL. And, let me think of one player. Let's see. Cale Makar, 5'11". Is 1 inch going to be a big difference? Between 5'11 and 5'10"? Anyway. But it's good. It's good the Devils are playing like a team. And I like to see the same thing happen when they play the big bad Boston Bruins in Boston. Game day live. Hopefully we get some Max footage out of it. I'll have to coordinate with Max. Yes, Max Petinoff. Thank you for the super chat, Max. Saying only area of concern for me at this point is the power play and the PK. Yeah, if the power play can operate at 25% and the PK could be operating in above average, special teams is going to be fine. And just think, as bad as the goalie numbers have been for the New Jersey Devils thus far this season, knowing that they're not that far off pace from last season's point pace, with all the injuries, there's really nothing to be whining about. There's still about 6 to 8 weeks more of evaluating the goaltending situation. But if the team's playing great defense and Vitek Vanacek is not stepping up to the plate, and you've got Akira Schmid playing maybe you'll make a move there. But right now, stand pat. Let's see how Vitek Vanacek does. My bet, I've hedged my bet on social media that he's going to turn it around because it can't get any worse than what it is now. And then Vitek Vanacek, it's half mental, half physical. Couple things he can do in his game. And you'll thank me later when he gets hot. Especially in the second half of the NHL season. Supernova says team has no confidence in Vitek. I don't know where you're getting that information. Please enlighten me, because people I've talked to said that's not the case. Let's see here. Mike says Sam will play Dawes or Vanacek against Boston this Monday. It's Vanacek's turn. Play Vanacek. Again, Boston's an elite team. Let's see how he does. Nico Dawes, look, he certainly deserves to play on Monday, but let's keep the good juju going and not overdo it with Nico Dawes. I'm not talking about his injury, but let's just keep it even keel and let's just roll with it right now. You got a goalie tandem. Let's roll it out like that. Supernova says, Sam, you can just see the difference in a team when they have confidence in a goalie. I watched Brodeur for 20 years. Yeah, I watched Brodeur for 20 years as well. Vitek is still trying to find his game. Yeah, it's a little disheartening at times. But the team still hasn't, there's no signs of the team outing him out. You don't see any internal combustion in the locker room, or you don't hear about it. And again, this is when a team comes together when times are tough, when you have all these injuries. I think Vitek Vanacek, and you could disagree, but I think Vitek Vanacek will figure it out by mid-February, maybe in March. And he may be playing that outdoor game. So you better hope that he's found his game by then. And Beachmaster said, we need to keep McLeod. Agreed. Keep Mikey McLeod. Keep these assets, these players that contribute night in and night out. And you got to get tougher. And right now, the Devils are just working what they have and selling you what they got. And what they got right now is an improving team in January. Motor Mike says Devil's Aces. Supernova says, these role guys are what's keeping us in it, like Holla. Exactly my point. I mean, it wasn't too long ago, around this time last year, everybody was wanting to trade and bench Holla or trading Alexander Holtz and trading this player and trading that player. And I was one of the few that says, Boulder Dash, no, it's too early to tell. Be patient, which is the T-shirt behind me. Be patient. I learned that from managing partner David Blitzer. Be patient. Be patient. Although I don't think he knows what being patient means. All right. We got a big podcast tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition, 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. We'll be discussing a lot of this. A lot of good stuff. Also discussing about our fan appreciation tailgate. JoinOurCrew.com. Very easy to sign up. JoinOurCrew.com. We want to communicate with you the day of the game. Send your alerts on your phones, where we're going to be at, because it's going to be crazy, because there's really no information. You can't really go with MetLife Stadium information because this is an NHL-sanctioned event. So you can kind of do what the Giants and Jets do, but not really. So we don't know when it's going to open. Is it 6 hours? Is it 5 hours before the game? Or is it before the Jonas Brothers play? But certainly we will have a big podcast at the tailgate. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Lots of Crew brew flowing. And that's all I have to say right now here on the Woo Report. Thank you. JoinOurCrew.com. Please sign up. Please sign up. Max says, I don't know why fans are wanting to VTech to fail or just writing him off. We should want him success so that we can trade for an enforcer or D-man instead of worrying about the goaltending. Yes. Yes, thank you, Max. It's a lot different than it was 3 years ago where every single goaltender got hurt for whatever reason. Going through 7 goaltenders. Right now, I think consistency and stability and continuity is most important with this Devils team when it comes to goaltending. Yes. All righty. And, yes, and Ted is looking for some Crew Brew this Saturday. Yes, Sergey Breland's Sarge Night at American Whiskey. I'll be there. January 20th and the 22nd against the Vegas Golden Knights. It's going to be a lot of fun putting the shows together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I'm hitting the music right now, if you haven't already, go to pucksandpitchforks.com for the latest reads of New Jersey Devils hockey. And also keep it here on the Let's Go Devils podcast as we're ramping up the coverage. Even when the going gets tough like last night, we still make it happen, folks. We still make it happen. Nothing's easy in life. You got to gut it out, just like the New Jersey Devils right now. They're just gutting it out with all these injuries. But just remember, joinourcrew.com, sign up, and learn more about our February 17th tailgate and other live events as well. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go Devils.